I've written a lot of historical fiction. I don't get a lot of credit for historical fiction except in certain places. I did 2 books of historical fiction that are going to have big birthdays next year. I did Liddy, which was a story of a young woman who goes from Vermont to work in the mills of Lowell, Massachusetts. When I started that book, I had just moved to Vermont. I didn't know anything about Vermont history, and I knew less than nothing about the Industrial Revolution in Massachusetts. So I started knowing nothing. And I had to learn from the ground up. I did a lot of reading, and they're wonderful letters that the mill girls wrote back to their families, telling about their lives in the mills. There are newspapers that they published. There are some books written about it, but the words of the girls themselves were the things that really thrilled me and got me interested in the story. Then, of course, I went to Lowell, and they have a wonderful park there, and the Tsongas Educational Center wrote to me this year and said, "We're having a big celebration next year. Would you please come and talk about Liddy?" Because Liddy, to my thrill, is one of the books that they use when they're taking children through tours of the mill. They say, well, the first question we ask a group of school children is, have you read Liddy? And if you've read Liddy, then you will know. And they even had a program, a day in the life of Liddy, and children would come and they would have a boarding house meal. They would go to the weaving floor. They, you know, just going through the day that Liddy would have experienced in the 1840s. So, you know, I love the fact that I knew nothing when I started, and yet the people who know the most think my book is valuable. Isn't that great? I can't believe it. Well, teachers use Liddy all the time. I had no idea that there were so few books on the Industrial Revolution. When I published it, I wrote it because I was so thrilled with the idea of those Vermont farm girls going to Lowell. I had no idea that it was going to become a very popular classroom book. But teachers tell me over and over again how important it is for them, usually at the middle school level, to have the kids read that, and they get a picture of what it was like to work in those factories, so that the words in the history book come alive for them.